welcome to ScreamRide. I'm Johnny Watts, the creative director, and this is
Richard Newbold, producer at Frontier.
Cool. Right, so just before we jump into the game, I just want to explain there are really two sort of modes to the game. One is career, and the other one is sandbox. So when we were making this game, we really wanted to tailor it as an Xbox experience, and so we really distilled the game down into those two modes. So career is all about arcade action, visceral, moment-to-moment gameplay. Sandbox, ultimate creativity. So Rich, do you want to go into career? So first off, there are three personas, and the first persona we're going to show you is Demolition Expert. So while it's loading, it's basically you have to destroy the buildings using the cabin from this amusement ride. And obviously a lot of skill involved. Rich will demonstrate this so beautifully that he'll hit it first time.
If we lived in a perfect world.
Yeah. So we're particularly proud about the physics on here. It's 50,000 active physics objects, all of them with their own structural integrities. If it's wood, metal, glass, they all have different properties. So Rich is going to get it through that hoop, hit the explosion, and cause this chain reaction. So as you can see, building collapses into another building, collapses into another building, and even though this is an early level, it illustrates there is a puzzle element to this part of the game, and also destruction, of course. You can change cameras so that you can have a look at your destruction from many different angles. And Rich is a completionist, so with his second shot, he's going to manage to take this building out.
No, don't need to.
That's how good he is.
He went scared. He went running.
Right, no pressure. So when you launch a cabin, there's aftertouch, so you do have like a little chance just to bend it to where you want it to go. And that illustrates that not all levels are easy, but he's managed to do it. Again, the chain reaction is a bit like how I imagine my sort of Mousetrap the game to be. I was sorely disappointed when it wasn't quite as cool as this. Then final shot, you're going to use a different type of cabin.
Yep. If there's anything left.
Just do it. So again, as the game progresses, you have different types of cabin. Here's an exploding one, and you can miss with them as well.
Straight in the drink.
So that's destruction. Should we do another persona?
Yep.
So we're going to ScreamRider. So as I say, there are three personas. This is the second one. So this is like a challenge from a design point of view, is how do you get moment-to-moment arcade gameplay on a coaster. So what we did was, it's all about racing your coaster. You can accelerate, you can decelerate. As you go round the bend, you have to push in the opposite direction, otherwise the G-forces will fling you off. There's turbos that you need to bank, and later on there's going to be things like jumps, monorails, and track blockers. So right, here's Rich who's going to go. He's going to get this perfect start.
Yeah.
No problem. Accelerate. Right, so here, once you're at the end of that blue piece, if you press X, you bank your turbo. This is the management part of this game. You have to bank your turbos, use your turbo to go up the slopes, let gravity help you on the down slopes. Rich is going to demonstrate what happens if you don't. No, he's not going to demonstrate. He's going to show that you can do his wheelies. So again, it's all about getting the greatest score by completing the lap in the quickest way, sharing it with your friends, and so you have this competition as well. Just that split second faster, that split second faster. Right, he's doing pretty well here. He's scored all his turbo off, hopefully. There we go. So just demonstrating that if you go around the corner too fast, you haven't counteracted the G-force by steering into the corner, your peeps fly out. But nobody's hurt, they get back in the car and then you can complete the level. But what we're trying to do is like, whether you do something positive, you have great payoff. If you do something negative, you have great payoff. So that's ScreamRide. Now the third persona I'd like to show is engineer mode. So engineer mode, as the name implies, is about building stuff, particularly building coasters. And some of the levels, it's about building a coaster piece by piece, getting it to be, you know, X speed, X height, whatever, very, very traditional. But the one we're going to demonstrate now is something called build to destroy, is where you need to build a coaster so that it can launch the launch the cabin and destroy more objects. There's a theme in here, isn't it? Destruction, it's cool. So then, Rich, are you going to go for the perfect solution first, or are you going to go for...
I'm going to fail first. I'm going to go for the building on the left rather than the upper, I think.
So again, if you look at construction, it's like it's spline-based coaster construction, but it's piece by piece. You can control the bank. You can put in specials such as loops. You can put in pieces which accelerate it. It's quite handy too. The little white line, dotted line there shows you a trajectory. So what he's going to do is aim the coaster car to hit the explosions, the explosives, to try and take out that building. Can't fail. So here we go. And nicely missed.
Just missed them all. Slide into that.
It's alright, don't worry. Perfect. That was a little bit of teasing there, wasn't it?
Completely meant that.
Right, but because it has a puzzle element, there's like a perfect way of trying to complete this level. You need, with one shot, to take out all those buildings. And so what you need to work out is that helicopter in the middle is actually an amusement ride, which has got the arms which are detachable. So maybe if we just hit that, you'll see what happens. Not as easy as it sounds. So here we go. Right, good launch. Oh. Do we say that's an almost?
Almost.
Are you going to have another go?
We can have another go.
We're going to have another go. So I say it's quite a tricky shot this. It's one that you would have had to learn to do.
Aim a bit lower.
So what's really quite nice is the game does have a little bit of trial and error, but the retry is just so quick. There's no barrier for you to just keep experimenting with different trajectories and things like that. Keep calm.
There we go.
And here we go. Change some cameras. Let's see how much damage you've done. I think that's pretty good.
Pretty happy with that?
Yep. And so the final thing I'd like to show is how all these levels were built. This is the second part of the game, and you know, it's a really big part, which is sandbox. So you can create whatever you want, or you can actually create levels, stick it up to the cloud via Level Center and let other people play them. I'm really hoping that we're going to see some great levels built by the people who play the game. Rich is going to demonstrate just some of the scenery construction. So first off, you place down your island. You've got a series of pre-builts that you can place, or you could have built it individually piece by piece. That's it, quite nice, well done. And now I'm going to set Rich quite a tricky building task. It's going to be a cube. So you've seen all those beautiful buildings our level designers have made. We are going to plus that by building a perfect cube.
The perfect cube.
But it demonstrates the tools. So as you can see here, we're doing the building piece by piece. Again, putting the walls in. Again, you know, a very, very simple iteration loop. Then using the palette menu, we're going to get the corner pieces in. So again, the basics are easy to use, and then there's some more advanced features. So we're going to clone this base now. So just copy and paste, and then we can get our height on it. Again, all these things can be saved out as blueprints, and if somebody wanted to build a cube, they can build a cube from Rich's pre-built. Put the corner unit in. So not only can you do this, we can build coasters around it, which we'll show in a bit. We can put amusement rides in there. Oh, nice one, levels of fidelity, showing that you can change the brush size of your pieces. Yeah, and then we can set up levels. We can make a a demolition level if we wanted by putting an amusement ride in there. We can, if we get a coaster in, we can turn into a ScreamRide level and so on. So do you want to quickly build a coaster again?
Yeah. Quite proud of my cube.
That is the best cube yet. We've practiced for 16 hours on this demo, so hope you appreciate it. So again, just showing how creative building the coaster is, how very quick you can put like sort of dips in if you wanted to, banking. If you want to put a little loop in there, Rich, good time to do it. So again, nice little loop. Bring it back to the start. And then maybe demonstrate autocomplete. So if you're ever in any trouble, autocomplete. Bit of a nasty kink in there, Rich. Yeah, so by using the power of the smoothing tool, just smooth it out, and there you go. That's the coaster built quite quickly. So really, they're the two game modes I showed you: career mode, sandbox mode, and all the different parts of the game. I do need to mention that there are 60 levels, and so that's ScreamRide.